And we're back with another edition of the CMB Sports Show. We missed an episode last week, but we're back with a banger tonight. We have two special guests, but first going to check in on Cole since he's down with the sickness. He's got the vid. How are you?
Yeah, pretty rough. Boston, dirty city, dirty air. I couldn't come out of there clean. You could probably still tell, I got a little gunk up in my face. I don't like it. But day by day we're
They
recovering.
warned you before you got there, don't they? Ain't they saying like dirty water? Like you should
Yeah,
your own.
yeah. I mean, don't. It was pretty clear when you flew over the harbor. Like you don't want to drink the tap water there. All the grass at the airport was dead, so I was like, yeah, we'll just stick it to the. We'll keep it to Dasani on the.
It's probably
on the
still
hip,
got a little
just in
hint of
case.
tea in there, don't
And,
it? Don't you think? How long do you think it
Probably
takes
so.
tea to get out
Probably
of water?
so. Shout out to
pond?
them for that, honestly. But I think all that brown is probably just dirt and throw up.
But we have Connor Moon and Nick Glasnovich with us today. So Connor, how are you?
I'm good, fellas. How are y'all?
Doing good. What about you,
Doing
Nick?
great.
Good, man. Pleasure to be on here.
Yeah, Connor and Nick basically listen to every episode. So we had them on we're going to do a draft of iconic sports photos just because, that's something we probably could have drafted for like an hour. We probably could have done 50 picks
Hours, dude.
and still been rolling them off.
Yeah.
So this one I've had saved for a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to say top five, if that's what we're doing. We're doing 5 rounds. It was really hard to narrow down.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
We'll start with stuff from the news. Biggest shocker was Leon Edwards knocking out Kamaru Usman last night. Me and Kaylee were watching it, and no joke, we both laid there with like our mouths just wide open for nobody even said anything for like 2 minutes. And it was it was unbelievable.
Another minus 350 or something to drop in the UFC this year, right?
He was
That's that a couple times.
Edwards was plus 3,300 going into the 5th round. And he won it with a minute left.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no joke. I texted
That is crazy.
Tim yesterday and was like, "Hey man, who we betting on that? Who we like?" He's like, "Bro, go Usman." Of course, luckily I don't have the gambling anymore. But then I saw him today. And he's like, "Hey man, please tell me you didn't bet on Usman." I was like, "No, I don't have it."
Wow.
He dominated like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and the 5th round up until he pins him against the cage with like 2 minutes left. And Herb Dean, people start booing. So Herb Dean makes him separate. And less than a minute later, he kicks him right in the mouth. And his soul leaves his body. But it was just, it's so weird seeing him like that. Like he's never even been taken down in the UFC. He was undefeated in the UFC. He'd never been taken down. Like he's never even been vulnerable in a fight. And then he just gets collapsed.
Yeah, it's another.
Everybody's got that stop button though.
Yeah.
That's just proof.
The UFC never ceases to entertain. No, it's always going to bring that level of entertainment that no other sport can.
It seriously is the best sport there is. Like I don't think there's
it's
any
most
debate
entertaining.
in that.
Most entertaining bar none. The competition level may not be the same as the rest, but most entertaining for sure. You're going to dial in and look at 4 or 5 great fights every time.
Oh yeah, it's always cool seeing somebody just get knocked out.
I do have one beef with UFC, and like last night I didn't buy it. Like I'm stuck in the house. I'm not gonna buy it for myself and then like possibly fall asleep and not watch it. So I was like, this morning I wake up, everybody's talking about the knockout, and I'm looking through Twitter for highlights, and everything you see is just right after he's out. It's him, the guy running around the ring, and you have to seek out the highlights so hard. I hate that. That bugs me. And I guess I get it. They want you to buy it and all that stuff, but come on, man.
Yeah, I've yet to see the actual kick, but I've seen him laying there breathless.
Do you see him laying there? Do you see like Joe Rogan's reaction? But that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess it was good.
Yeah, I've yet to see the actual kick, but
it's like every time.
Pay-per-view stuff, they'll get you in a heartbeat for copyright infringement if you post too much.
Oh yeah, but it was insane. Like Edwards took him down too. Like I said, first time he's ever been taken down. But they pan to there's a front row of probably 6 or 7 other fighters, and every one of them are just sitting there like, everyone in the crowd's going crazy, and those guys are sitting there just amazed.
Awestruck.
Yeah. Like there's
So
no way.
was it more of a like a Usman? You think he's lost a step or is it more
No.
of a Edwards is just that good,
He landed.
or you just caught
that
him
shot.
at a bad moment? Yeah, okay.
Yep. He caught him with the one shot. With a minute left, because Usman dominated.
That's another
the
thing
whole
about
fight.
MMA in general, or especially UFC, because it's kind of like the pinnacle. Is your prime is so short lived. You can see guys in all the other major sports have a 6-7 year run where they're just great. When you're only fighting 2 times a year, your prime just runs out so fast. Like when we look at Anderson Silva, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. By the time he got the fandom and got the huge hype because of how great he was falling off.
Yeah.
His last 4 or 5 fights, he looked like he, just everybody was feeling sorry for him. He steps back in there against Israel Adesanya in his prime. It's like, you don't even belong in the ring anymore.
No, I think if they rematch,
It's such a short time to dominate. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll run it back. I'm sure he had a rematch clause in his contract.
He called Dana White during the press conference, and you can just barely hear his voice coming through Dana's phone, and he's like, champs F up sometimes. I'll kill him next time. And I'm pretty
Wow.
sure he's telling the truth.
Yeah, he's
Which
probably
he
locked
was-
in now. There ain't no sneaking up on me.
No. He was one win away from tying Anderson Silva longest win streak in the UFC. So now he's got to restart. He'd won 15 in a row.
Wow.
It's like I say, it's just a hard thing to do to be at the top that long in that sport. Because, like Cole said, one punch turns the lights out. I mean, it's over with. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Yep.
You get caught with one, and you wake up a loser.
Yeah.
You don't really know what happened.
The Big Ten signs a mega deal. I don't know if y'all have seen this yet, but the SEC signed a deal probably about a year ago with ESPN. It starts in 2024, so SEC won't be on CBS or any of that anymore. They'll be ESPN. They signed a deal worth $3 million over 10 years. Big Ten comes in a year later, and they sign a deal with Fox, CBS, and NBC maybe. But it's a 7-year deal for $7.5 billion. So they got 3
Wow.
less years for more than double the money, which is, I mean, that's ridiculous. They're
Yeah,
getting
that's crazy.
$1
Yeah, it's
billion a
crazy.
year. I'm
Yeah.
hoping this is like setting up a blueprint for what they can do when they go to an expansion, just because it's 3 different TV rights, 3 different TV companies sharing a deal. So they'll have to like rotate who gets the conference championship and stuff. So maybe that'll just kind of pave the way for what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those.
Is that in there? Is that they have to share the
Yeah,
conference
they're going to
championship?
rotate. I think all 3 of them get
That's
it
cool.
twice, and I think Peacock might get it once. Because Peacock's in the mix too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see a lot of SEC fans, or on Twitter, like a bunch of people were posting that, it was like the Big Ten games and highlights and stuff with the CBS
Oh.
music. And it bothered me because SEC fans were like complaining about it, right? They're like, man, this isn't right. It's not going to feel right. Like, everybody complains about the SEC being on CBS. So I hate that, like contradicting yourself kind of deal. I kind of bugged me. It's like, I mean, CBS is great. They
I
have
love
great music.
CBS.
It's like the vibe for the
Yeah.
fall, right? But you have full access with ESPN. I mean, for me personally, I like that it's going to be exclusively ESPN. Just
As
'cause
long as they
aren't a
employ Gary
subscriber.
Danielson, I can't get behind him. If we're being honest,
It's
his
tough.
play-by-play is just so hard to listen to. He gets names wrong. He gets everything. It's just hard to listen to.
Yeah, I've never been a CBS. The sound just so like nostalgic,
Oh yeah,
right.
and then
I'm
we're
with you
watching,
100%.
we'll be watching on CBS Nebraska versus Northwestern, and it'll be 3-0 with 21 straight punts, and they'll just be playing CBS theme just over and over again.
yeah. It's gonna be on primetime TV.
That's what made me sick, especially when Big Cat did a
Oh,
highlight
dude.
tape of Wisconsin with the CBS in the background, and it was like the quarterback fumbling the snap and them like getting tackled in the backfield and all kinds of stuff.
That's
We
great.
had the Deshaun Watson, they finally settled, which is a weird way to put it. that
Yeah.
the NFL and Deshaun Watson settled on an 11-game suspension because I don't feel like he should have a say-so in that. That should kind of be a
Not at all.
you already did your part.
Yeah. So how weird is like a verdict handed down and you appeal it and then it comes back worse? Because wasn't he originally given 6 games
So
and then he
yeah,
wants to
took it-
appeal it and then the league comes back with 11? He's like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I think it was
Yes.
I think it was the league that appealed it because they just sent it to a judge and she basically said in the NFL's rules like a non-abusive domestic violence case is only 6 games. So she said I'm
Okay.
wiping my hands clean of it, like I'm just giving you what is put here. And then Goodell came out and he said he should be suspended for at least a year. But he gets 11 games. Game 12 is the Texans, of course. And in his contract, if he plays in 6 games, he'll make $40 million. If he plays in less than 6 games, he'd only make $1 million this year. So it just happens to line up
Oh,
perfectly
yeah.
where he'll
Yeah.
get all of his money. And game one's
Right,
going to be
yeah.
probably like the Thursday night game against the Texans. So it
Wasn't
helps the
wasn't
NFL
it
and
20
him.
24 counts or whatever, or something like that. Wasn't that a number?
It got
24
really
different
high.
women.
Like, buddy, it ain't gonna take me 24 times of trying it. I mean, like, probably not gonna work. Probably gonna get.
Why do you
sued in
need?
a few years.
Why do you need that many masseuse?
Dude, hearing
Just find one that's good and go.
hearing the write-ups too. Hearing the write-ups about like how he like would talk to him and how like I guess whoever lined up like these like his appointments was like, well, we need somebody that can handle Deshaun Watson's like wants and needs or whatever. And you're like, dude, this dude is a sicko. Yeah, that's worth a read. I don't remember where I read it. I was just clicking on links and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is
You got too
ridiculous.
I was
far in the
watching
rabbit
thing
hole.
And, I was watching the thing and like while he
Yeah.
was in his new place, where he had like Mia Khalifa over and they're like playing indoor basketball or something. It's like, come on, dude, you're in enough trouble. Why do you know
Yeah,
of all the
what
house
are you-
guests, of all the house guests you can have, let's go. Come on, let's not give any more validation to the rumors.
So I mean that's it's just the
Weird,
NFL
man.
being.
Them Clemson boys just tick different.
What's
Yeah, there you go.
What's funny is they go back to didn't Dabo say he's like the Michael Jordan of football, like a year or two ago, and now it comes out he's
Yeah.
like a mass like pedophile.
Yeah, it's really like the Bill Cosby of football for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think they should go back and like vacate their national title where they had the rub play in the national championship anyway. So we'll just go ahead and claim that one. We've claimed worse ones, for being honest.
For sure.
Exactly. This one's
Yeah,
justified.
this has got some receipts.
We had Mike Zimmer, who was the coach of the Vikings last year, right? Or was it the year before?
Yeah, last year I think. Yeah.
I think it was last year. He's going to Jackson State, where Dion is. So he's going
What a
from
hire.
being the head coach
It's an analyst.
at an NFL team to being an analyst in an HBCU. I think that shows you the pull that
Yeah.
Deion Sanders has.
Buddy, Dion could be a problem.
Oh, of course.
He
yeah,
will
no
be.
joke. Yeah, I think it was Braylon that posted the other day. Just wait till he gets a D1 job. I mean, you think the coaching carousel at Alabama's been bad? Just wait and see what he puts out. I mean, everybody that gets
yeah.
hired by that organization is either previously been a problem or will be in the future. I mean, he's just going to be turning out unbelievable amount of.
What do y'all think is a good fit for him though? Like because to me, obviously Florida State, but you can't do that now. Like that bridge is burned.
Yeah,
to
he's
me.
not going to Florida State.
I mean, maybe not for him. I don't know.
He's
But,
not going.
Like where else would you go? Like, I mean, what
I think
else is
his
there?
personality travels to anywhere. Like, I think he's
Yeah,
got that
so.
southern charm. I think he could go anywhere in the country and he would thrive.
Yeah, but like where? I mean, where do you think would be his best
Whoever-
fit?
Yeah, whoever offers him, he'll win a national championship there probably.
I feel like he'd be trouble at like Miami, stealing recruits from Florida State. I feel like it's kind
I
of
was going to go Miami. I was sitting there thinking
That's-
like
that's
he's got
kinda what
the
I was
Miami
thinking.
vibe. I don't know.
Got the in-state thing. He's got the big city thing. People are going to love to come to Miami anyway. It kind of adds to his recruiting. I don't know. I just feel like he would thrive there. And the U obviously has the name recognition anyway. They got the money to back him to be able to bring in the kind of guys he wants to bring in. Obviously, a Mike Zimmer. I'm sure he's getting paid well to be an analyst. I don't know who's paying him, but I'm sure he's getting paid well. And some of the names that he could bring in at Miami he could be a really problem. He could bring them back to the forefront of the ACC in a hurry if he went there,
for sure.
I think, because they're falling off anyways. You know, if they bring somebody like that in, and he could just take over the top spot in a hurry.
Which I think they really like having Cristobal because he's
That's true.
he's from there, played there. So I think he's the guy for at least the next 5 years. I think he's got that kind of leeway. But I mean, wherever Deion goes,
Yeah.
somebody better be offering the bag. If it don't work with Harsin this year, throw him the bag.
Call him up.
Hey, there you go.
That would be
There you go.
unbelievable.
I think that's a huge jump to go from a HBCU to a
that'd
SEC powerhouse. But I guess he's well proven.
Yeah, I
He
feel
could
like
probably do it.
honestly feel like Bruce Pearl and that AD could probably
Yeah, they could
talk
probably
him
make it
into
happen.
it. Honestly,
I don't think it wouldn't take.
I
much
mean,
at
there's
all.
enough money
Yeah.
there to go around.
I think just about any team, especially the youth on the team, is going to welcome him with open arms. I mean, I don't think there's a player in college football that wouldn't love to have him as his coach. It's going to be more of the powers that be, his boosters and ADs and things like that make it happen. I don't think there's a player that would reject him.
No. I mean, he's recruiting. He's got
Right.
2 5-stars in an HBCU. He got the #1 recruit in the country.
In the country,
In the middle of
and
nowhere,
he carries one
Mississippi.
with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he carries one with him with his son. I mean, he's fantastic. I mean, he could be in real trouble.
Hey, I don't know about this middle of nowhere Mississippi. Jackson's the biggest
Is it
city
really?
in Mississippi. I don't think they have a single skyscraper, but I'm
We'll have one in the whole state.
Well, I mean, they don't have anything taller than the Waffle House in Mississippi. So it's just, like,
But I've
That's
stayed in
about as good as
Jackson.
it
There ain't
gets.
The
nothing to write
love
about.
sign.
Yeah,
The love sign
But
is
I've-
the highest.
I've
highest
stood
one.
behind it for years. Mississippi only exists so Alabama will only be 49th in everything. That's it, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
we'll never rank last as long as they're a state.
Oh my gosh, it's such a big difference though between Alabama and Mississippi. I hate to throw shade, but
It's ridiculous.
you know, everybody, you know, kind of looks down on Alabama. Like, come on now, like y'all got to just go.
Yeah,
go
don't
west
take
a little,
much.
you know,
It's a
get
3-hour
some
drive from
like-
anywhere in the state, and you're there.
Yeah, you're in a different universe.
It's in the
Yeah,
middle
it
of
is.
nowhere, too.
Like
The
a
whole
third
South.
world
Stepping
country.
backwards in time. You can get on your Apple podcast and look up true crime, and like 7 out of 10 happened in Mississippi.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in Mississippi when I drive through Empire. I feel like that's just a little. That's
That's a good call. It
That's a
is.
good
hint
call.
of
It is.
Mississippi right in the middle of Alabama.
Yeah, West Walker County is just a little preview of what you're about to get in an hour if you keep going west.
Especially on 22,
Yeah.
man. You don't even you could go asleep and you're like, oh man, what's
Yeah.
in Walker County?
But that's about it for the news. I guess we can get into the draft. So we did the draft order off camera. It goes Nick, Cole, Connor, then me.
Okay.
Well, let's get it.
All right. Well, anytime I feel like you get 1-1, you got a little pressure on you to bring the heat. But this was a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to go with Muhammad Ali pumping his chest over Sonny Liston. Just I'm obviously a bigger man than you. Get up if you want some more, or you can just lay there, and I'll take my W.
Yeah. From the greatest trash
It was,
talker of all time.
Yeah, if you're going to stand over him, and I mean I think there was rumors after the fact that he only showed him up so much because there was rumors that Liston threw the fight or whatever, but I believe this picture even hung in the White House at one point. It's got to be the most iconic sports picture. When y'all said this was the draft, I was like, well, that's got to be 1-1. And then when I got the first pick, it was an easy pick for me.
Yeah, this would have been my first one.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah,
been right
same
there
here.
with you. 100%.
Cole.
So I had the second pick. It was pretty tough. I was scrolling through a lot of pictures and stuff, and this would just kind of like when I saw it. I'm sure it's known, but it just kind of like stuck out to me just for the importance. It's the Jesse Owens salute at the Olympics. I want to say it was the 1934 Olympics. It was in Germany. I think Hitler had just like came out and like publicly said like, you know, the Aryan race is the superior race, and like kind of just, you know, came out with all of his beliefs and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, just for Jesse Owens to go over there and to win, 1, 2, to get up on the podium and salute, and as you can see, like everybody in the stand is doing the Nazi salute and whatnot, and the guy on the stage or on the podium. But I thought it was pretty powerful.
I mean, the pressure right there's got to be incredible. Like, I
Yeah,
can't even
no
I can't even imagine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
the courage just to stand up there and do it
Yeah,
is
that's-
incredible.
He's an Alabama
Really,
boy
to
too.
even represent the United States. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
To even
Alabama
represent
boy.
the United States and what all they were going through in the Civil War, he didn't even have to go over there, you know. And he went over there and then,
Right.
like I said, not only represent but won it. That was a pretty big moment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I had the old
Third pick,
third pick.
Mooner.
I went a little different route than you guys. I tried to relate it to something I've actually seen, and this is actually the last sports moment that I teared up in. That's going to be Tiger winning the 2019 Masters. I can remember flying home from Montgomery. We played ball there. Didn't win, but flying home, sitting in the chair next to my dad, and then he made that putt, and it was just like, me and my dad didn't speak. It was just like, hey, we realize what we're witnessing here. Just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah,
So-
it seems like every putt that man makes when he's wearing red, it has some sort of significance, and for it to be at Augusta when he finally made his climb back to the top was pretty special. That was a special moment in sports.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. I'm with you, Mooner. I think I cried too.
I couldn't
when
help it.
saw
It was like, I don't even know why I'm crying, but I didn't get to see Prime Tiger, so this is probably as close as I'll get.
Yeah. Now the hurdles that he had to overcome to get back to that pinnacle of golf was incredible.
Oh my gosh.
You know, not only in his personal life, but in his physical, all the injuries and everything else, and then
Right, then they hit you with the
yeah.
old Charlie hug right there where you used to hug his dad, and you're like, all right, rip my heart
Yeah,
out.
that
I'm
was
done.
it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Just go ahead and
there wasn't a golf fan in America that didn't tear up a little bit right there when he makes that putt. It's
Definitely.
an incredible moment.
It's like one of the only times where I feel like everyone was pulling for the same guy. Like I doubt anybody was
Yeah.
rooting for anybody
Yeah,
other
yeah.
than Tiger.
No
yeah,
way.
I have to be.
Except Sergio Garcia.
Don't even get me started on Sergio.
Yeah. Maybe a Rocco Mediate fan in the gallery.
I had the fourth pick, the last pick of the first round. I'm taking Kobe holding the trophy in the bathroom. That's my favorite
Oh, wow.
picture of all time. He's
Yeah.
got the big jacket on.
Unbelievable.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
iconic, dude. I mean,
You know,
one of the
Rip
best.
Mamba, obviously. You know, anything to him, paying homage to him is going to be great. That's iconic. Got the little bottle of champagne or whatever
Champagne
below his
between
feet.
his legs.
Yeah.
Like I just
that's
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Imagine everyone else is celebrating, and he just like takes the championship, goes in the bathroom, and he's just like in his own
Yeah,
world.
ready for next year.
Yeah, he's thinking about next
You're
year.
ready for
right
next
there,
year.
probably.
You're trying to repeat right there.
Yeah, he's
That's
already
it.
getting his mind like I'm coming back.
Mhm.
Like I'm coming back
Yeah.
next year even harder. That's
That's right. You can just see it
Oh, yeah.
written on his face, like, you know, this is going to be a long night, but I could get up at 4 a.m. to shoot free throws. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be a long night for me, but we're going to live in this one. It's like the Saban quote, we're going to live in this one for 24 hours, then we're going to start grinding again.
Yeah, how about how cool that jacket
Yeah,
is,
no
too? That jacket
That
is
probably that jacket's probably
Wow.
worth more than the trophy he's holding.
Oh,
buddy.
my God.
I'm gonna go the opposite. I bet you that jacket's hot as freak. you know that dude.
it's already sweating.
He had to put the jacket
did-
on there.
Yeah, he didn't even change clothes yet. He just,
Oh, yeah.
like his mind was like, I gotta go put this jacket on and go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
His
either
hands
that's
are
the
still
world's
taped
coldest shower, or
Yeah, he didn't even change clothes. Still wearing his game shoes, but he's got the jacket on.
Dude, after you win a championship, how long do you stay in the uniform? I mean, it would be
Days,
tough
right.
to take it off.
It would
You
be,
could be like
days.
J.R. Smith though. You like take it off and not put anything else on for 2 weeks.
Right? Yeah.
He just took the top off. He left the shorts
There you go.
on.
Yeah,
He just went shirtless for about a week.
just went shirtless for a month in Miami.
I don't know. I win the
3rd-degree burn.
championship. Somebody's like, "How long you had that on?" I'm like, "I don't know. What day is it?"
Right.
Like, I'm not really sure, but last time I changed clothes, I wasn't an NBA champ. Now I am.
So it's Snake. So it comes back to
Sick.
me. I'm taking the over-the-shoulder Willie Mays catch. Like, it's the most,
Oh, man.
like,
Rip
I feel
my
like
heart
it's-
out. Yeah, that's
yeah, it's the greatest or, like, most recognizable baseball play of all time.
yeah.
That's a tough
even
play.
with even with the grainy footage, like the little 3 or 4 second clip you normally get of him running it down and then turning around and throwing it in. Actually, as I was researching,
And this
for
happened in the
this,
World Series.
he's clearly on my list. Yeah. So this is a tie game in the 9th inning of the World Series. He makes this play, turns
Yeah.
around, and keeps the runners at bay.
Dude.
They go on to sweep the series. I did not know that obviously until I was researching this and saw that. Obviously, an over-shoulder catch is in today's game is it's probably supposed to be made, but back then that was like a highlight of all highlights. And not to mention that's at Polo Grounds. That ball's hit probably 480.
Yeah, that's-
that's a home run at every
Right.
stadium in today's game. He tracks it down, catches it, and throws it in to keep everybody wins a World Series.
Yeah, he's
Probably
600
the best defender of his time.
627 feet from home plate when he catches that ball.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Gotta be.
Polo Grounds,
Gotta
it's
be.
almost 500 at dead center, and he's in the track. Like, that's an unbelievable
Yeah.
catch. I think, when the Best Damn Sports Show was around a few years ago, they did the top 100 best catches of all time, and it was still like number 2. I mean, of all the sports that's been played since then, it's still one of the top 3 or 4 catches of all time, and across every sport.
Yeah, I agree.
It's an unbelievable play, and then to do it on that stage.
Back to me. I'm going to go with the Miracle on Ice when USA defeats Russia. It's pretty. That's pretty up there. You know.
Yeah, you want to make a
especially
whole
for the
movie
country.
about a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to Cole's pick. You know, you got a whole country rooting against you, or the whole country's against you. They wouldn't even let American pro hockey players play. These young kids went out there and beat them.
Yeah, it's like high school and college kids playing against
incredible.
the
Yeah.
Russian military, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean they were like pro, like they had their pros or whatever playing, and this was just the college team.
I'm
went
pretty
out
sure
there
this
and did
wasn't
it.
even the gold medal game, and they dog
it wasn't.
after
It was a
That's how-
third place game.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they dog
yeah.
after it like it was. Just shows you
Right,
how
they
big
did
of
go
a
on to
game
win
it
the gold
was.
medal.
I mean,
yeah.
They went on to win the gold medal.
that's how big it was to beat Russia, like in
Yeah.
anything though, in that time during like the
Yeah.
Cold War.
You know, a decade later, we learned that juicing and taking steroids is legal in Russia. So obviously, they were supposed to be powerhouses, but you got a bunch of
Right.
18-year-olds that said, "I don't care if you're taking steroids or not. I'm going to raise the stars and stripes after I stripe you here in a minute."
All-time movie too. One of the best sports movies
Yeah.
there are.
It's a great movie, also.
Oh,
Great
dude,
movie
when he
made
hits
after.
you with the "Who do you play for?" and they keep running up and down until somebody finally figures it out.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
They're not running, but skating.
skating.
So this one I kind of just like scrolled across, and it could have been like a 1-1, honestly, or not a. I don't know about a 1-1, but a first round pick for sure. But it was the MJ in the dunk contest. I think it was like 1988.
The logo.
Throw.
Good not.
I mean, incredible. I just this picture, like the angle,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at the logo.
awesome. I mean, it's just
The logo.
iconic.
Yeah,
On
it is
the-
the logo.
I mean the logo on the jumbotron, the old school Gatorade logo.
That's the old school
That is
Gatorade
awesome.
with the Winston cigarettes.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
notice it's iconic, like a good old Coca-Cola and a pack of cigs.
Oh man, yeah,
I love it. I love all the different colored lights in the ceiling too. You know, like they couldn't get.
yeah. They
matching
just had
lights.
none of the
Like
bulbs
light
shine the same brightness. It took 45 minutes for those lights to come on. Yeah, that's incredible. That's the logo.
Oh, man.
That silhouette right there is worth billions of dollars now. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Guaranteed
an
those
incredible
lights
pick.
buzz.
for sure would have been my next pick.
Yeah, I can-
You just stole that from me.
Yeah, I can hear them.
I can hear the picture right there.
Yeah. Oh, round 2. Well, I guess I'm going to go with a sure enough tearjerker here. I'm going to take Lou Gehrig in his retirement speech. The luckiest man on earth stands there after he figured out he was sick and they put all his accolades out there. The whole team rallies around him as he decides he's going to retire. I don't know if there's a more iconic moment in all of sports. If you're not even a sports fan, you've probably heard the speech of getting to play for the Yankees and being the most luckiest man on earth. And I mean, I guess social media had the whole ALS challenge just a couple of years ago, and you dig into that a little bit, it started right here on that baseball field, him bringing awareness to it and retiring from his league. That's a pretty touching moment in all of sports.
Yeah, arguably the greatest baseball player of all time too. Like you take his 3 to 5 year prime, nobody touches his numbers.
Yeah, he gets robbed. He gets robbed because of a sickness. I mean, I guess ill will happens to all people, but he gets robbed with an unfortunate condition.
He was also the backup until I can't ever remember the guy's name. The guy
somebody called in sick or something.
The guy was drunk, and Lou Gehrig. So they brought Lou Gehrig off the bench, and he started every game for like the next 15 years.
Yeah,
and just never missed another game.
I love those stories.
Yeah, that's
Wally Pipp. That's his name.
Incredible. Yeah,
that's right.
Just a big moment in sports. I mean, this picture. There's a million pictures of the same moment, but this picture just kind of captures that moment. I think the whole speech in general is really just a big moment in sports, but that picture kind of captures it.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
And
back to you, Nick.
With my first round of the third, which I mean, I guess these are interchangeable, but as far as just iconic, we flip the script and go with the Joe Shiesty with his cigar blazing in the locker room 20 minutes after setting records. It might be one of the funniest / most iconic pictures in all of sports. I mean, he has a year that'll be remembered forever as a quarterback, and still sitting there in full uniform. He just fires up a fat cigar, probably 19 years old, and just
Really disappointed I didn't think about this one. Hate I missed it,
Yeah, this one, I didn't even think about this picture. Like, when you said it, I was like, dude, that's a slick pick. I mean, because I don't know. I guess just when you think about iconic, you're thinking about like the old days or classic moments. But I mean, this was like an instant classic.
I feel like this,
just his.
Yeah, I feel like
year.
that picture.
I mean, everything about Joe Burrow.
That picture kind of embodies the whole year of LSU in 2020. Just they looked down on me. I had to change schools, and then here I am. Cheersing with a cigar as a Heisman winner and a national champion, and I was the third string at a different school. They had no faith in me.
It was like the third quarter of the game, and he's touching his ring finger like this. Like
when it is a touchdown. He's like
this. It wasn't even close. This is 20 minutes after the game, and he still has the perfect 1980s movie, The School Bully. He's got the perfect hair right there with just everything's brushed back, but he's got a couple of strands sitting in the front. And
there's not a single grass stain on that white jersey.
I was about to say his jersey don't look like he was sweating. I mean, come on, guys.
Well, I mean, as a Bama guy, I got to throw a little bit of the props. They won the national championship like 2 months earlier when they beat Bama in Tuscaloosa. That was the only tough game they had on their schedule that year with that offense.
Yeah,
Auburn.
So,
but it was pretty.
That
close.
Auburn game was. If
Auburn
they
gave them more than they wanted, for sure.
If they didn't hold Derek Brown on every play, Auburn probably has a better chance.
Yeah. Well, we could say the same if we didn't have a broken Tua that came back and fumbled the ball on the first play of the game, or the first drive in the red zone.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But
that game against Alabama, I mean, the athletes on that field.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's
unbelievable,
ridiculous.
Yeah, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think every one of them is just about in the pros. It's crazy. Almost every skill player.
That was the game that Trump was there too. Like, I mean, we got there. Everybody was like, get there like 2 hours early or whatever, because you're going to have to go through secret security, and not just regular security. So we got there like 3 hours early, stood in line, got up to our seats, and I mean, it was just bananas. Like watching warm-ups, and it's already
My buddy
packed.
Tyler was there. He was sending me pictures and
you get a game
videos
like
of
that.
Air Force One flying in. You could see it in the distance as he came and landed and drove over to the stadium.
It's crazy. So this one, this is kind of where I get like my own bias here. I think about anytime I think about Tom Brady, this is the picture I think of, just because it was his first one. He's like my favorite story. You know, starter gets hurt. He's been kind of sitting and learning, and he comes back, or the guy gets hurt. He comes in and just takes over the role, and you know he ends up winning the Super Bowl. And in the documentary or the Man in the Arena or whatever, he's talking about how he's looking at his sisters in this moment and was like, "What, this is crazy." So I always thought that was pretty cool. It's kind of the start of his awesome career. I just think it's I don't know. I always, especially after the meaning of, like, there's more meaning to just him being in like disbelief. It's like with his family too. It kind of, I just think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's the start of a pretty storied career now. I mean, was it Drew Bledsoe? Was that who his starter was? They went down that year. Yeah, and then
he wasn't no.
He was the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he steps in and doesn't miss a beat and goes on to win more Super Bowls than anybody else. Was he Mr. Irrelevant at the last pick in the draft? Yeah,
No.
I mean, that's crazy.
He was what, like 6th round, I think.
How was he that? I thought he was.
Yeah, pick 199.
Yeah, 199.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, that's the picture that started it all, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pick 11 here. Guy's actually not an athlete, but I'm gonna go Bush throwing out the first pitch after 9/11.
Wow.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, that's a fantastic pick. I don't think the nation ever. Well, we talked about Tiger. Obviously, every golf fan was around him then. Right. I don't think anybody had ever come together in one sporting event more than this. I think the whole country was watching this game.
Yeah.
Is that Shea Stadium? Mets Yankees, I think.
I mean,
or no, it was Mets Braves, wasn't it? It was Mets Braves. It was Shea Stadium because the catcher, what's his name? Mike Piazza hits a home run in this game, and the whole place goes crazy. Yeah, that was Shea Stadium, I think, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure that's Yankee Stadium.
Oh, maybe it is.
I think it is.
I'm pretty sure Sleepy Joe couldn't even hit the daggum strike zone.
No, he wouldn't be able to.
He would really struggle. I think he'd struggle to walk out there to the mound, to be honest, and then
he'd probably put a mask on.
He wouldn't know what sport he was playing.
Sorry, guys, if I just got you canceled.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, you're good. They can try. No, this was watching this whole video kind of makes me tear up too. Like, just seeing, kind of thinking about the whole country kind of rallying behind him, and he just rifles in a strike from the top of the mound. Yeah. I mean, that
there's really that whole week in sports because I think the next day or two that Chicago goes back to play, and Sammy Sosa runs a lap around the whole stadium with the American flag. Wasn't even born here, and he kind of embodies the moment and runs a lap around the whole field with a small American flag and throwing out bubble gum to the fans and stuff. I mean, everybody just kind of coming together for that one moment. That was a big week in sports.
Yeah, I wish I would have thought of this one.
Definitely.
That's a really big pick there.
That's probably the first one that's been taken that I didn't think about. My next pick, I'm taking Jordan. Has to be on my list somewhere. I'm taking Jordan flu game.
Oh yeah.
I think to me it's like side by side with the logo picture.
Yeah, it toted off couldn't even walk off. Well, he drops 30 or plus or whatever in a playoff game. Pippen has to carry him off the field or off the court.
It's ridiculous, man. Dude was a different breed. Sure. Like, just different kind of competitor.
That one looks kind of like animated.
I can't hardly get to the bathroom. That dude's out there playing basketball.
Yeah. Was it the Last Dance? I think they said it was like more of a food poisoning or something like that, but he couldn't even hardly stand up that day and decided he was going to play anyway. And
he had pizza or something. Yep. Ordered pizza and got sick from it.
That's what they said.
Like,
dude, I've had food poisoning too. That ain't no joke.
Yeah, me too.
You don't get out of bed with food poisoning.
Food poisoning's tough.
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've all picked some pretty iconic. I think Braylon's dropped like two of the best competitors in sports history in two of his three picks with Kobe and MJ. They're just built different.
Yep. I'll follow it up with a fourth one. My next pick is the picture you see every year on draft day. It's Tom Brady's draft day picture. Where he just has this ugly looking body.
Yes, that's it. That's the pinnacle of the male body right there.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets.
So funny.
That's
man.
as good as it gets.
That guy right
is that?
there.
Dude, like he looks like he just got out of bed.
Got his one of those like Russell Gray shorts that are like the cloth.
Yeah.
You know, they,
Yeah. Those are the practice shorts in junior high basketball.
yeah, that's it.
Yes.
No pockets.
Got the holes
It's just
on it.
got the strings right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And they rolled him out in front of this. What is the screen behind him? Like, is this done at Walmart?
Oh,
Dude, that's like the church
Yeah,
directory background.
man, what do you
This
think?
guy.
He called his mom like, "Hey, chest hair or no chest hair, mom?" She's like, "Ah, shave
Yeah.
it."
Yeah, that's picture
He
day.
probably didn't even
That's
have
picture
chest
day.
hair at that point.
Buzz it up.
You're probably right.
That
He
was
probably
picture-
didn't.
That was picture day at Bagley Junior High. At Bastrop.
That's right.
Hey, we're gonna put your
That's a great
QB
one.
and name on this easel over here and stand in front of this awful blue screen. Who is in charge of this?
Unbelievable.
Dude, is it not kind of weird that they do this? You know, I get, you want to, fully, document everything about these guys so you can scout them or whatnot. But I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna need you. I'm
Is it not
gonna need
kinda
you to
weird that they
stand
take
shirtless
those
over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, this makes me a little uncomfortable.
yeah.
I'm gonna just stand shirtless with your name behind you so
What-
that we can, document this.
I like to think about like pro sports as like a regular
Right.
job. Like what if you're going to, I mean, I don't even know. You're going to work for Uber. Like side gig, and they're like, hey man, we did this little combine thing. We want you to come out, and first thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna stand shirtless.
And like 3 feet from you, we're gonna have your name, position, height, weight, and college right there. Like, could you
Yeah.
imagine
We're
the white
gonna get
shirt
you to go out here and
having
run
to do
120 feet as fast as you can. So
Yeah. Can imagine the GM's like, what do you think about this T Brady guy? I don't know. His
Yeah, I
belly
mean-
button's a little low.
this? Yeah, a little
Probably not any
off-centered.
good.
Yeah, man, I just don't know. I just don't like how his arms hang right there.
yeah, he's
I
got
just
these
don't
super
like
long
it.
arms. I know we got the highest paid quarterback in the league, but we'll take a risk on him at pick 200 here. Turns out to be the winningest quarterback of all time.
That's great.
Solid pick, Braylon.
Thank you.
All right, guys, well, stay true to me. This is probably unlike anything I've ever witnessed in sports. That's going to be Tiger in the 2018 Tour Championship, the walk-up 18 with Rory. I mean, they even interviewed Rory, and he's like, dude, I don't know. I mean, these fans come out of
Yeah.
nowhere. I mean, it was like a mob. I mean,
I've never
Yeah, that
seen
was
anything like
crazy. Yeah, no one ever has.
you think that's a golf event? Like, that's
Right.
not like that's not baseball.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
football. That's golf.
Yeah, that was right out of the Happy Gilmore script.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is
That's crazy.
nuts.
Was it? I guess that the Roar of the Tiger documentary where they did. Where was it him that told all the guys to just let him come? I think it was Tiger himself told marshals to just let him come on, and they just let him through.
Wow.
Or him or his caddy one was like, just let him come on through. I think his caddy actually got caught up in all of it.
Yeah, I mean that's
He'd, like, find his
thousands
way out
of
of it.
people right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, they just swarmed him.
Following
Which they
one
couldn't have
guy.
stopped him if they wanted to, but Tiger was like, just let him through, and they just swarmed him.
It looks like
It's
there's
like-
Look over
there's
look over
a
to
fist
the
fight
right.
going on right
Look
there.
over to the right. The security's giving
Yeah.
it.
And
You're
the
getting
two red
after it.
shirts right there. That guy just wanted to snip Tiger's neck, and now he's getting arrested.
Like a couple pictures before this, you can see like Rory trying to get out of it. Like they swarmed
Yeah.
it so bad, he's fighting through with his putter.
Well, I mean, even in this, oh, never mind. There's Steve. There he is up in the front. I was gonna say you can't even see Tiger's caddy now, but he's up there in the very front, I think. But I mean, he still had a bunker shot and a putt to make to secure that win. But it's like everybody just knew he was gonna do it. He was just that dude.
Yep.
Like you said, if it's never happened before and never happened again, it probably happened to Tiger Woods. I mean, that's just that guy.
Yeah.
He's one of a
I,
kind.
I was a big reader into the Tiger thing, and everybody was talking about the new guys moving the needle and all that. And then they said, well, yeah, Tiger is the needle. And
That's
that
true.
picture right there pretty much sums it up. He's
true. He
he's
was
the guy.
Oh yeah.
So this one I kind of stayed at home with this one too. It's the 2nd and 26.
Oh, there you go.
Devontae Smith catching
Yeah.
in the end zone,
Roll
man.
Tide.
I mean the ultimate just especially against Georgia, play them again in the in the national championship, and it's just I love it. I love everything about it. I hate Georgia fans. I think that's one thing that like Alabama and Auburn fans can get along with or can agree on is just Georgia fans are the worst. So anytime you can beat them is incredible. And I mean we don't really lose to them much. I get we just lost to them last time we played them, but who cares?
We split.
Move on.
We split. We beat them first.
That's right. I can remember talking about sports moments that like you cried on, like when they happened. Like I straight up cried. I was in my apartment with Dylan and Lindsay in Tuscaloosa. We were watching this, and I mean, it was just crazy. Like the amount of people who flooded the street on the strip, and it was awesome. It was just, and I feel like this is just so beautiful of a sports moment. And we watched a video today actually of this when they're playing like the Titanic music over it, and it just makes me.
Yeah, I mean, but you look, obviously that's true freshman at the time, and the play before, he rips your heart out. You have no faith in your field goal kicker at all. He missed one to win it in regulation.
Right.
He takes a sack, and you're sitting there thinking this game's over. We just lost the national championship, and he throws a dime on blown coverage, obviously, but he throws a beautiful pass to another true freshman. And then the whole place goes. It's like just a roller coaster of emotion because you think you just lost it, and then a beautiful pass. You think you just won it. Obviously, it was. Obviously, if you're a Bama fan, your emotions go crazy when you see that video.
Yeah,
No
pretty
doubt.
sweet picture too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Right before he catches it.
Yeah, that picture's sick.
All right, to round up. What is this? Round 4. Wrap up round 4. I think there's about 100 pictures they could go into these last two picks I got here back to back, but we go with the weight that each of them carry as far as iconic goes. I must go with the Wilt Chamberlain holding the notebook paper that says 100 on it, as his 100-point game, just because it's not even been close to match since. What Kobe, one of the greatest scorers of a generation, put up 86,
81, I think.
81. Yeah, he was still close to 20 points behind, and this dude drops 100 and looks like he writes it with a
Crayon.
Crayola.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say, let's go crayon.
He writes it with a crayon and just holds it up, and it's not even been marveled since. I mean, just the weight that carries historically. And I think everybody's seen that picture. It's just an iconic moment in basketball.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's the only highlight you have from the game. Like, it's one of those, you just got to trust him. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
The only reason I believe that he scored 100 points in the game is because this picture was taken. Because
Yeah.
what else would they have let him get away with just writing 100 down on a piece
right.
of paper with a crayon and take his picture about? What? Like,
Yeah.
that's the only reason that picture would have ever existed.
Right.
We want to talk about Joe Burrow not having any grass stains. It doesn't look like he broke a sweat. He dropped 100 on him, and he didn't even sweat.
No.
Because nobody in the paint was over 5'11". This joker's out there.
Could you imagine being on
7
his
foot.
team though, knowing, hey, I'm not going to be able to shoot this time down.
Yeah, that's it.
Or ever.
Give it to him. He's going to score 100. Did you shoot much? Nah. Pretty
He
good.
he averaged like 50 points per game for like 4 years straight. So
If you took my
feeding him the right.
If you took
It's
my
crazy.
entire stats, my entire 4 years of playing high school basketball, I bet I didn't score 100 points if you count layup lines and warm-ups. I mean, this dude did it in a game. I mean, that's crazy.
It would take me
That's
probably
hilarious. That's
10
awesome.
games of one-on-one to get to 100 points.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I guess we'll start the last round. I'm going to lean on the historic events. Also something that hasn't been done since. About a perfect game in the World Series. Don Larson throws a perfect game. Yogi Berra runs and greets him, jumps up in his arms. I guess I look like a Yankees fan, I guess, bringing all these up. But it's just a historical moment. Obviously, it's never been done again since then. And I think everybody's seen the little clip of him running and jumping in his arms. Perfect games rarely happen, and this one happened in the World Series against, I don't even know who it was, but it's the other best team in the league. So to throw it in is pretty special.
Yeah, I think it was Game 5 too. They actually have a like perfect or an exact replica of it in Yankee Stadium, to where they have like it's drawn off 60 foot 6 inches. It shows the catcher and the pitcher, and then there's like 100 baseballs like side by side, and it shows the perfect trajectory of what the last pitch of it. So that's awesome.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
We have like perfect games don't happen. I think the last time it's happened
Right.
today was Felix Hernandez in like 2010.
It was. I seen that. There was like 2 that year, and then it hadn't happened before, or a long time. But it was only like 20 something total in the history of baseball, like 27, I think. I could be wrong on that number, but it's in the 20s, in the millions of baseball games that's been played, and it's only happened a handful of times, and only once ever in the World Series, and it was here.
So I'm going to continue with the Yankees trend for my last pick, and I'm going to go with the Jeter jump throw. And I mean, there was probably 30 pictures to pick. I just picked the one, that looked the best, I thought. He kind of has like that jump man look going on. It was kind of cool that he was, a Jordan brand guy too. With the jump throw. Definitely don't think that was an accident. But I had to have him on my list. One, I love Derek Jeter. He's one of my favorite players of all time. It was pretty rough having to listen to a bunch of Boston fans saying like, Jeter's just a normal guy if he plays for anyone else. Like, okay, he only had 3,000 hits. I guess that's just. I mean,
That's
I don't
your
know what
everyday
to tell you.
shortstop.
Like,
I mean, nothing great.
he's just a no-name, I reckon. So, I mean, I think more than anything, he was just a good leader. And I just had to include the jump throw just because like everybody, I mean, that's like his thing. Like he almost like he trademarked it as the Jeter.
It's like the Kobe.
Jeter
He
play.
patented that.
That and diving into the
Right.
stands. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Kobe.
Anybody that's ever played a game of any level of baseball or slow pitch softball or even wiffle ball, if you make the backhand and jump, that's the Jeter hop. That's he patented that. He
Yeah,
patented that.
exactly. So I had to have
Yeah,
this.
this
one
is
on my
like-
That
list.
is iconic.
Hearing people talk about Jeter being bad at defense is like hearing people say Kobe couldn't score. Like there's only one guy on defense.
Yeah.
You backhand the ball, it's the Jeter. And
That's it.
I mean, it helps that he was 6th all time in hits. So, but yeah, he was just average. Just did what he could.
Yeah, it helps. He's another one of those guys. It's
God,
like
man,
He's here
it
for
was
a
tough.
check.
Like it took me everything.
he's
I
another one of those
was.
guys. Like we talk about Tiger, we brought him up a couple times. Is the moment was never too big for him. Like I think it was his 3,000th hit was a home run. I mean, you're sitting
Yeah.
on 29.99, and somebody grooves you a fastball, and you hit it out for 3,000. I mean, the moment was just never too big for him.
His last at bat was a walk off.
Yep. Even his last
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah,
ever.
his last hit was
Yeah,
a
exactly.
walk off hit. I mean, the moment was it was special watching him play.
All right, my last pick. I'm gonna go with something that, at the time, you don't really, or I did because I was younger, didn't really grasp the weight of what it was. But that's gonna be the Tebow speech in '08 when he promised to play as nobody'd ever play as hard and win like they did. It's incredible that he did that and then later followed through. Like that's stuff you
Yeah.
write books about.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
you
speech
got
will
that-
give you chills.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
it
this
does.
college kid up here.
does.
That's why
you
he's
know,
one of the best.
making
dude.
this speech, and you're probably like, oh, he's blowing smoke. No big deal.
Yeah.
Just write it off.
Yeah, you're looking at a guy that can't be over 20 right there, and he put an entire team on his back. And like you say, you look back on it now, that Florida Gators team was mentally unstable, to say it the,
Oh, yeah.
say the least. Okay.
Yes.
And then this guy put
From the head
and
coach
this
down.
guy puts the whole team on his back, makes this promise, and it's like he went in the locker room right after that and said, "You're not going to make a fool out of me," and delivered. Yeah,
I mean, he basically walked back into a prison after this. In fact, 42 of those players have been arrested. So he walked back. He walked
Yes.
in to a convict camp and convinced 70 guys to just get on his back and just let him lead the way.
one for sure is a convicted murderer of multiple.
It's so ironic
It is.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
We need a 30 for 30 on that.
It's also crazy
that
to think
team.
that Cam-
Like, we just need a documentary on
Cam
that.
Newton
Yeah.
was on that team.
Yeah, we gotta
We
have
need
it.
it.
Somebody
That
had
would
to
be
be
bad.
following them with a camera.
Because I like to believe I'm a pretty confident person, but I don't think I can get up in front of the world and say, "Hey, we're gonna win it all," and that's just the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, I won't lose again
Nobody's
the whole
gonna
time
work
I'm here.
harder than me. No one's gonna outwork me.
Hey, dude, that's
That is a
It's
good
different,
pick.
man.
But I
Was
think
it 20? 19-year-old homeschooled
Yeah,
kid.
he was
Went out
19
there and rallied
probably.
the whole- It's unbelievable. Yeah, that was an unreal year. Also, he's still just a great guy.
Oh
it's
yeah.
hard to root against him.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to root against him.
So I will close it out. The last pick of the draft, mystery irrelevant. I'm taking the greatest catch of all time, Odell Beckham's one-handed grab. Where he catches the ball with literally with like 2 fingers. Like there's no relevance to this picture either. It's not like one of the other ones. This is just the greatest play a human could ever make. Like there's nothing more impressive than this.
And it was a PI.
Yeah, he's
too,
getting
through
pushed down
contact.
right there. Is why his body's that
Yeah.
way.
Yep. This is also the picture of that should be on Eli Manning's acceptance speech. Should he ever get accepted into the Hall of Fame? Because multiple catches like this has happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
to get him
Yes.
where he was at. You're talking about the helmet catch, all of it.
Yeah, he's had
They
some
put
helmet
Eli where he was at. This guy, the Madden cover, everything. I mean, it was an unbelievable catch.
You got the Drake feature too.
I mean, he just
everywhere,
Major
everywhere.
shout out to whoever makes those gloves. But
I do miss like young OBJ. Like he just did stuff like this. I mean, he still makes good catches and good plays, but I feel like he just is, just like another good receiver now. Like back in the day, I mean, he was making one-hand catches. Like that
He was a
like his
problem
Yeah,
until he
they
got
were
hurt in
showing
the
him
Super
in the-
Bowl.
oh yeah, he was having a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They showed him in that his pre-game warm up. Like they turn the jugs machine as fast as it'll go, and he just catches them all one-handed. I mean, he has abnormally large hands though. Like they're stupid.
He's a
big.
freak.
yeah. I think he wears
It's
like a
unbelievable.
2X,
Yeah,
3X. It's something crazy. Glove.
But I think that sums it up. We'll get
So we
got
got some.
some honorable mentions.
Yeah, this is like the honorable mentions page that I put together without talking to anybody. I just kind of was scrolling through. The kick six. I hate to say it, but I mean it's an iconic moment. Barry Bonds deserves a shout
For
out.
sure.
LeBron James has some pretty iconic moments. That one in the bottom, it's like real small, but them playing on the
Yeah.
aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
Michigan
that was a
State.
college game, right?
Michigan
Crazy.
State, North Carolina, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yep. Brandy Chastain kicking the penalty kick or whatever to win the world.
Yeah,
Cup.
the
I thought
world's
that was
most
cool.
famous sports bra or whatever was the headliner. I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember we made a pallet in our living room watching Vince Young win the last championship. when I
Yeah.
was little.
Greatest game
The
ever
picture of
played.
him, the picture of him holding the ball out, heading to the pylon, was almost on my list. I just about chose it because it was a big moment, especially in our childhood. I mean, I don't know what year that was, but he beats the juggernaut of Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, those guys at USC. That was the shoe-in for the national champion.
Yeah, the Reggie Bush picture is pretty cool too.
Yeah, up there.
Oh yeah.
Pete Rose.
Just how crazy he was.
Yeah,
man.
Pete
He was
Rose
so good.
doing what he does. That jersey, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Cooperstown, but the jersey that's in that picture is hanging up, pants and jerseys in Cooperstown, and you can't even read Cincinnati on it. He had like 12 total bases that game and stole like 3 bases. The whole thing is just red clay from neck to ankles, and it's hanging up in a full frame in Cooperstown. Retired. It's really neat. He played the game harder than anybody, and they won't let him in the Hall of Fame. It's kind of a disgrace, to be honest.
Dude, so speaking of Pete Rose, my buddy Connor he bought this ball at an auction, and it's from Pete Rose. It's signed by Pete Rose, and it says, "I'm sorry, I bet on baseball." And that I was like, he showed it to me, and I was like, dude, why is this not in a case right now? Like you're just holding it in your hand. Like that is
Yeah,
disrespectful.
Unbelievable.
he used to sign them too.
It's awesome.
He would sign them like with how many hits he had. It's like 4,600, however many hits. Then he'd write like steroid free on there,
Yeah, that's unbelievable. You're talking about the all-time hits leader, and they won't put him in the Hall of Fame. The all-time home run leader, they won't put him in the Hall of Fame. It's just crazy. Baseball writers, it's just
I
stupid.
hate it, man.
How bad did that hurt to put the kick six on there?
You know,
Sucks.
I'm kind of over it now. Like,
It
it's
belongs,
fine.
though, if we're being honest.
I've had so much closure with it. I mean, it's like every Saturday, so it's honestly just like another. It's just another thing, you know. I mean, y'all can have it for the rest of y'all's lives. It's great. I'm proud of y'all for it.
It's one of those things like the pictures doesn't capture it. It's like you need the whole 12-second clip of him running it down the field and whatever the announcer is yelling Auburn's going to win the
Rod
football
Bramlett.
game and no flags on the field. All that the whole clip is like it give you goosebumps even if you're not an Auburn fan. I can only imagine if you root for the team, but it was definitely a huge moment.
That was the same
That's
picture
one-
that they photoshopped too, and made it look like he stepped out of bounds. And I bet there's still some old Alabama fans that think that was real. That are still like
He was
pissed
out.
about it.
He was out. They won't zoom in on it. He was out. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember being I don't even know how old we were, like 13,
We're
12,
older than that.
13. And I was just sitting there just so mad.
Yeah, you had to be older than that. I'd already
You what?
graduated, so it's like 20.
Yeah, we were in high school.
Was that not
It
2011?
was 12 or
No.
13, I think. The year was.
Yeah, 13, I think.
So 14, 15?
Might have been 13.
Okay. Anyways, we talking about like that coach hit the guy on the sideline 50
Yeah.
yards downfield. You know, I'm like, this is nonsense. I need to throw a flag, bring it back.
Fun
You know,
fact about Chris Davis. I'm
Bama
pretty
fan.
sure he's the one that gave up the game-winning touchdown to Florida State in the national championship.
He also wasn't on the field.
Back to
Nick Saban called a timeout, and then we put him out there, and he returned it for a touchdown.
I'm not going to say that I'm a better coach than Nick Saban, but I will say that when he called that timeout, everybody I was watching it with, I was like, just try your luck in overtime, buddy. I mean, you're about to try to kick a 60-yarder.
Yes.
And then they put in the
Oh
backup
my
kicker
gosh.
because he has a stronger leg. I was just, why?
The backup
I've yet
kicker
to, understand,
and
yet to understand that decision.
9 guys that weighed 350
100
pounds.
Yeah, 350 pounds.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and like it's not like this is the first time somebody's tried to return
But
a field goal. Like it's a somewhat
Yeah.
common thing.
if you're going to send a field goal return unit out there, I think I call another timeout if I've got it, or just take a penalty and punt it. Because I'm like, wait a
Yes.
minute.
Or there's
We
no
don't
time
have the
left.
unit.
Just
We don't have to use.
yeah, snap it, throw it
Take
out of
the-
bounds.
1 second.
Yeah, whatever. Take the dang delay of game penalty and then knee it. And try your chances in overtime. I've never understood that play call, but he liked his chances, I guess. It's hard to. I guess hindsight's always 20/20. If he makes it, it's the greatest call of all time.
Yeah, for
real
sure.
quick,
Uh,
they always tell us folks used to be built different. What about the guy right above him, halftime? I remember playing
Yep.
high school football. Like, hey, get your oranges, get your Gatorade, hydrate, stretch. He went there and said, "Hey, give me a cigarette and a cold."
Yeah,
beer."
I did cigarette and
Well,
cold
like-
beer at the halftime of the Super Bowl. Super Bowl
Well-
one. It's not that big of a deal. We're just going to
Yeah.
drink beer and smoke cigarettes at halftime.
Just needed something to take the edge off. He's in the first Super
He's
Bowl.
something.
That's right. He's probably tired of
Yeah.
handing it off.
Yeah, getting hammered by the Packers. Another play call. We want to talk about
Oh,
bad play
man.
calls right there in the middle with the Seattle interception when you got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. How about that?
Yeah, let's not hand it off to him.
Awful.
Yeah, let's not feed the beast. We're gonna let him go free agent this year. Let's try to get our franchise quarterback a touchdown, throw a pick. Another Alabama zone. He went to West Alabama.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could have had the
That's
Cubs
right.
on here too when they won it all.
Oh yeah, that would have been big.
Yeah.
Chris Bryant's throw across the infield. Rizzo catches it, shoves the ball in his pocket.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was big.
Hey, doesn't that guy with fake teeth right there play for the Dodgers now?
Yeah. Yeah, the
think
team
he
that they're
does.
beating in that picture. Not even the World Series clincher. What are we doing here?
That is in the World Series. That's my bad.
No, it's
That's
not.
on me.
I'm just kidding.
It was honestly hard to find. I was like, Freddie Freeman holding his hands up, World Series, and you're just scrolling
Yeah.
like forever.
Yeah, I had a couple that was on the list that didn't make it, like the Allen Iverson when he makes the three in the corner, steps over
Step
Tyronn Lue.
over.
He's staring down at him like the most disrespectful thing that you can possibly do. That would have been and of course I'm a Cardinals guy, so shout out to the Cardinals. Ozzie Smith with his pageant backflip running to shortstop. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which Jordan made it 2 or 3 times, so he was definitely represented here. But I like the little floating hesitator that he hits to beat the Jazz at the buzzer. It seems like his hang time was 4 seconds.
They called it his last shot. Then he came back and played like 5 more years.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's not the last one, but I get what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's the last
What I
one.
thought about, I kind of wish I'd put on there just because of who he was, but that's when Larry Bird went out for the 3-point competition and never took his warm up off. He makes that last shot and holds up the one as he's walking off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna take this off, guys. Y'all don't deserve it.
Yeah, what was it? Like he was down 5 or 6 shots, like had to get hot and hit the whole last rack, and just knew he made it.
And threw his finger up as he walked off. That's pretty cool. But,
Yeah, he was another one of those guys that had the dog in him. And all the stories
yeah.
about Magic Bird
Yeah.
or Larry Bird are just crazy.
I wanted to put the Wade lob to LeBron, but I just know that doesn't play well on a graphic. One of the
Yeah,
best
I mean,
pictures there is, but
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people walking around with that tattooed on their arm for whatever reason, but
especially they did it twice.
yeah,
They did the first one, then like
Yeah.
5 years later they do it again.
yeah, their chemistry together was wild.
Yeah, I kind of miss those days too. I guess it's just because it was in high school, but like watching the Heat
Yeah.
play, I think I watched every time they were on TV. It's different when you're playing basketball too. And when you play basketball, you want to watch basketball, just like any other sport, really. Growing up, but I mean, I think I watched every game they played on TV, which was a
I've
lot.
never called myself a LeBron supporter by any means, but I feel like with him, it took a guy like D Wade to really make it mesh. That was the best 1-2 he's had. He's had a lot of really good players he's played with in his career, but he was the best number 2 guy. I guess because he had already played number 2 to Shaq. Maybe I don't know what it took, but he knew how to play that Robin role very well. He
I
made
think-
it work. Made it work.
I think they just got along.
Yeah, I think
really
so
well,
too. I think D Wade was the one when like Shaq played with him. I think that was too far late in Shaq's career
yeah.
Yeah.
because when they
Shaq
won, it, I
won
think
the MVP.
did he?
Oh, he won the Finals MVP. I don't know if he,
I thought
he didn't win the league.
I thought
MVP,
Wade
but
won
he
it.
won Finals MVP. Oh, I don't know. He may have. I don't know. I was young.
But he's
Too.
pretty good.
But
I
you
know
look
y'all
at
were
Wade's
younger. I'm the
stats.
oldest
Wade
one in the
wasn't no slouch.
Yeah, I think he averaged like 40 and 12 during that finals.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was slept on as like probably one of the better shooting guards to ever play the game.
Oh yeah, top 3 probably.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. Cole, you got anything else?
Man, I'm good.
Appreciate y'all.
I'm gonna say we.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
guys
man.
being on here.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to get off here without bringing
y'all
up
joining us.
the little Yankee skid that we've got. If you guys want to weigh in on how good they've been since the All-Star break,
Yeah, we will see y'all guys
I'm not going to
on
let you get away with it.
Sunday.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and end the show.
Yeah, I did see where Joey Gallo is red hot. He's hitting 220 since he got traded to the Yankees. So I'm glad
Yeah,
he's finding his stride.
Yeah, I did see a graphic where he had hit more home runs than the Yankees had wins at one point after since the All-Star break, since the trade.
Yeah, I think he hit 2 of them off position players, but that doesn't get mentioned.
Yeah, it didn't. No, that part's irrelevant. He was begging to see a position player when he's in New York.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees will be
Oh,
fine.
no doubt.
I mean,
They still have like the third, fourth best record in
they-
baseball, and they've went on a skid they're like
Yeah.
250 since the All-Star break, and they still have like the fourth best record in baseball. They're fine. They'll be fine. Every good team goes through skids.
Oh yeah, and it's honestly a good time to have it. I mean, I said that last show. I mean, it just gives you a perfect time to kind of get on that grind again and right
Yeah.
before the
As
playoffs.
long as no key person gets hurt, they'll be fine. They can't afford an injury right now, but
Right.
other than that, they'll be fine.
Just got to get Carpenter back. Carpenter's going to come back right before the World Series and hit 900 during that series.
Yeah, just need a little bit of that Pujols magic, a little bit of that 42-year-old Dinger Nation magic.
Yeah, we need a mustache
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the lineup.
I need him to get 700.
There you go.
But I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up, man. It's been a pretty good show. I don't know. Y'all got anything else?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you guys having us. It's been a blast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll do it again for sure. But all right, let's attack a week. Let's get after this
Love
Monday.
you guys.